What's up? It's your boy TL. This is your Week 4 preview for fantasy football. Me personally, in the first 3 weeks, I'm in 9 leagues, 8 Yahoo and 1 ESPN. I went 8-1 the first week, 6-3 the second week, and 8-1 in the third week. So I'm doing pretty well. I am currently 3-0 and in first place in 4 out of my 9 leagues. So a pretty good start for me. Anyways, moving on to the people that I recommend this week. Little disclaimer: there's 2 Steelers on this list. I hate the Steelers with a passion. I would never pick up these guys based on my fandom, but you do what you want. Okay, I'm gonna get the boring part out of the way. Kickers. There's 10 kickers this week that I like. A lot of people don't care about kickers, but sometimes they can be clutch for you. The guys this week that I like based on their matchup is Dawson, Zerline from St. Louis, Carpenter, Akers, Josh Brown, Josh Scobie, Bullock from Houston, Walsh, Bailey, and Hartley. Okay, moving on to the funner stuff. I have 3 quarterbacks, 6 running backs, 3 receivers, and 4 tight ends that I recommend this week that aren't no-brainers as far as starting. The 3 quarterbacks are Alex Smith, RG3, and Philip Rivers. Last week, I believe I recommended Alex Smith. He played a good game. The thing is he didn't throw any touchdowns. So his completion percentage was great. They won the game. They beat the Eagles, decisively. But he didn't throw touchdowns. So from a fantasy perspective, that sucks. This week, I believe they're playing the Giants. So I look for him to throw some touchdowns. Let's put it that way. Moving on, RG3. Now, this is a homer alert. I like RG3 a lot, okay? Him and the Redskins are 0-3 right now. He's had 2 good fantasy games. The third one, not so good. I believe in the guy. Maybe I'm foolish. Maybe I just got caught up in how much I like him as a person. But I think he's going to come around. I think the Redskins will come around. I think he'll progress. So I recommend him this week. And last but not least, Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers has played very well this year. Based on his matchup this week, I also recommend him. Moving on to running backs. There's 1 Steeler in here, unfortunately. Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell, the Steelers liked him a lot preseason, and he got hurt and missed the first, obviously, 3 games. I thought he was going to come back around week 6, but apparently he's going to play this week against the Vikings. If he's as good as they say he is, he should have a very good game. The Browns had some running room against the Vikings, so he should too. Moving on to the other running backs. There's Pierce from the Ravens, Bell from the Lions, Bradshaw from the Colts, Powell from the Jets, and last but not least, Snelling from the Falcons. Pierce, Ray Rice didn't play. I don't think he played at all last week, and so Pierce had a full game. He scored, filled in pretty nicely. The reason that fantasy advice is important right now is because bye weeks start, you know what I mean? And bye weeks and injuries, and you need to plug some guys in. So, these could be big off your waiver wire. Moving on to Bell from the Lions. Reggie Bush, obviously everybody knows he gets injured a lot. So Bell played last week, played pretty well. And so I look for him to continue. Even when Bush plays, he still gets his touches. Bradshaw outperformed Trevor Richardson in his debut. He actually had about, 90 yards rushing. And I believe he scored too. Yes, he had a pretty good game. And so I look for that to continue. Powell, I actually plugged him in. I took him out. I took Reggie Bush out last minute sub and put in Powell from the Jets. He ran all over the place, man. He had well over 100 yards rushing. I think a TD as well. So he's pretty solid. I look for them to give him the ball more now that he's proven a little bit. And last but not least, Snelling from the Falcons. Steven Jackson should be out 2 to 4 weeks. Snelling just had his first start in his place. Jacquizz Rodgers gets a little bit of touches too, so it's kind of, they kind of split. But Snelling is just a north-south runner. He runs over people, and he's a pretty good play. He's like goal line back, so he's going to get touchdowns. Moving on to receivers, there's only 3 receivers that I recommend. Josh Gordon from the Browns, unfortunately another Steeler, Antonio Brown, and Tompkins from New England. Gordon from the Browns, he had a 2-game suspension, played his first game last week, had well over 100 yards and a touchdown. I think the Browns are going to be losing a lot this year, so they're going to be throwing a lot, and I look for most of those balls to go towards Gordon and Cameron. So if he's on your waiver wire, he's worth picking up. Antonio Brown, he was barking at his offensive coordinator last week and just complaining about not getting enough balls thrown his way. And this week, he got a lot of catches. He had like almost 200 yards receiving and a touchdown. So obviously they listened to him, and I think that offense is pretty sad. So they're going to have to use the weapons they have. So he's one of the biggest weapons. And last but not least, Tompkins. Tompkins is a guy that I drafted in several leagues. I heard a lot about him from camp, and he finally had his first legit NFL game. He had 2 touchdowns from Brady, and I feel like they're finally starting to get some chemistry. And so I feel like nothing's going to change. It's just going to be better from here. And last but not least, tight ends. There's 4 tight ends that I recommend this week, some more than others. Brent Selleck, Zach Miller, Cody Fleener, and Brandon Myers. Brent Selleck, I don't really have a reason to recommend him because his stats haven't been good this year, but I know he's really good. So it's just a matter of throw him the ball, and he's going to catch everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of risky, but I've always liked Selleck. Zach Miller scored twice last week for the Seahawks, and so I look for Russell Wilson to look for him again this week. Fleener from the Colts. Here's the deal. Their other tight end, his name is, doesn't matter what his name is. He got hurt. He's out for the season, right? They had 2 tight ends they could throw to. So since he's gone, Luck's going to throw to Wayne, Hilton, Fleener. There is nobody else. So that's why I like his play, and the Colts have a good matchup this week, so he should flourish. Brandon Myers from the Giants. The Giants suck this year. They're going to be throwing a lot, and he has pretty good hands, so he's a pretty solid start, especially if you're subbing him for a bye week. But anyways, guys, that's it. That's all I got. I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully I can keep winning, but I'll holler at you guys next week. All right? Go Browns. Peace.